Did JYP take away Chan's room because of that IVE situation? 50/50's case results are in. Seunghan's past couple photos leave people divided. Lino and Sullyoon's dating accusations, Jongho hiatus, and so much more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with Angelina. You guys like it though, so it's okay. Let's start off with Chan's room. So of course, this is a staple in Stay culture. Basically a YouTube live stream where Bangchan from Stray Kids comes and reacts to music, gives some inside info about the production of music, and so on. I'm sure if you're into K-pop, you've at least seen a clip or two go around. I vaguely remember Felix carrying a random egg. Though that might not have been Chan's room, these things stick with you. But I digress, there is a clip going around of him at a fan sign, and it seems that the fan might have asked him to react to a specific song, and he responds that he can't. And though it's a little bit hard to hear, it seems that he might be saying the company said no. So let's take a look at this clip. I can't do Chan's room anymore. I want to react to it, but the company says no, so this is what a lot of people are hearing. Of course, this could be a misunderstanding. You never know. But because of this incident, of course, people have taken to Twitter to start trending various hashtags, which include but are not limited to Treat Bangchan Right, Treat Your Artist Right, Chan's Room, Staying with Chris, JYPE, Leader of Disappointment, JYPE Protect SKZ, and Protect Bangchan. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Leader in Disappointment is kind of funny as hell. JYPE, Leader in Entertainment? More like JYPE, Leader in Disappointment. And ask us. Now, of course, when you go through these hashtags, you also see a lot of people reminiscing about Chan's room, praising it for being a safe place for all, how he didn't really make it just for stays, but that everyone was welcome, that he was able to be open and honest with his fans, to connect with his fans, and for it to seemingly be taken away is obviously not okay. However, there is a reason as to why it might have been taken away, and this stems from an incident from 3 months ago. This was actually something I had covered in a video, but basically while he was live streaming, he was talking about his time in Paris, Music Bank Paris, but then he brought up something that was bothering him, basically how some idols just don't greet him very well. So to refresh our memory, this is what he had said.
How's Music Bank in Paris? Music Bank in Paris was good.
He goes on to say that he might sound like a boomer.
His generations are different. You know? I feel like it's come to the point where greeting someone is not considered as basic manners. I'm not like cussing people out or anything. It's just that.
Then he explains in hypothetical, if you say hi to someone and they don't respond back, of course it's rude, but it seems to be acceptable these days.
The more I thought about it, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just over exaggerating. Maybe just I'm thinking too much about it. Maybe I'm just a boomer. I mean, I'm not gonna say names.
That was basically the situation. People made compilations about how he was so obsessed with greetings, and though he didn't mention any names, fans were able to determine that it was probably IVE. But it ended up being so big that he ended up apologizing for this. Stray Kids Bangchan apologizes for his recent comments about other idols. I apologize for the offense caused by the comments I made during a recent live broadcast. I thought about the impact my words and behavior can have on others and have deeply reflected on myself. I would like to mention that it was not my intention to specify a certain artist and that my comments had nothing to do with the artist being mentioned currently. I would like to express my deepest apologies to the artists who had been hurt by my careless words. I sincerely apologize. I will be more careful of what I say in order to ensure this does not happen again. Once again, I sincerely apologize. So naturally, people think that this was the catalyst to him not being able to do it anymore. Hence all the hashtags towards JYP to protect their artist. Because fans think that in this situation, he was made to apologize and punished for something that they feel the company could have intervened in some way. I've seen a lot of people bring up the fact that it's not fair for a company to silence their idols in the face of something like this. That rather than silencing your idols, you should put more effort into counteracting malicious rumors and malicious comments. Now, the issue is, in my opinion, that this is likely the company's version of protecting their artists, of protecting the group as a whole, right? The minute you say anything, there's a potential that someone can misinterpret it and take it out of context and blow it up. But if you don't say anything, then what can anyone do? So that's why I said this is probably the company's idea of protecting their idols from backlash. And actually, when I covered the video back then, I literally said, this is why idols don't talk to us. They don't talk to us because anything they say can and will be used against them in the court of K-pop. That just like flowed off my tongue. But I genuinely mean it. It's no surprise that a lot of idols can have deep and personal conversations with us, that they can't be super honest with us and open with us, because things like this do happen. And when it does, I think the company's only recourse is to just silence their idols. It's the easiest thing to do to protect them. For sure, in that instance, a lot of stays would have wanted JYP to have intervened. But the truth is, Bangchan was talking about someone. At the end of the day, there was a specific group in mind, so how could the company have protected him from that? However, stays are obviously not happy with the fact that Chan's room is no longer a thing, seemingly. Of course, we have no confirmation of this by JYP or Chan himself. Because again, if you say, I can't do Chan's room anymore, maybe it means you can't do it now. Maybe it means you're too busy to do it now. Maybe the company says no for now. I think there are many ways that this can be interpreted. For example, the company says, I can't do Chan's room now because now we're booked and busy. We're doing fan signs. We're about to perform at the VMAs. Maybe the company doesn't want to risk something now, but it doesn't mean that he'll never do it again. Unless there's specific confirmation by either Chan or JYP that he will never be able to do Chan's room again. I personally wouldn't jump to conclusions, but I do understand the sentiment. So we do have some people saying, like, maybe we are misunderstanding this, taking it out of context. Maybe with our anger, we're actually making it harder for Bangchan because it's kind of a repetition of what happened with IVE. But as of now, fans are incredibly vocal about this. If you go to JYP Entertainment's most recent post, you're going to see in the comment section, bring our Chan's room back, JYP leader of disappointment. Chan's room was our safe place. It even gave me a headache. God, seriously, let Chan make Chan's room. Chan's room is the only thing we want. We want Chan's room. Protect our artist, JYPE. Do better and bring back Chan's room. He can't control the way people react to his words. So naturally, with a situation like this, of course, protest trucks are to be involved. I've seen this text going around, hey, stays, we need your help. We have decided to raise truck funds simultaneously for Bangchan and the OT8 safety project. The OT8 project aims to address a range of issues regarding the protection of artists from threats, malicious posts, and rumors. We're still in the process of discussing the exact details of the BC truck in order to minimize repercussions. However, our goal is to place 2 trucks, one OT8 and one for BC, outside of JYPE for 2 days. So this is seemingly to take productive actions to address concerns that we as a fandom have regarding the mismanagement of Stray Kids. And we also see this through the hashtags of Division 1 disband, which is referring to the division of JYPE that Stray Kids are under. Now, I did want to talk about this for a little bit because, yeah, of course, trending hashtags, sending protest trucks, that is your right. And it really wouldn't surprise me if the IVE incident is really what did it, if this is the case. Again, I'm not totally ruling out the fact that maybe he can't do it now. But specifically after that live stream incident that seems to bring IVE into it, even though they said it doesn't have anything to do with IVE. After such an incident, it would surprise me if he would go around again and say something against JYP. I think it's really noble for everyone to want to protect the people that they love. I totally understand and I'm sympathetic towards it. I just wonder if people being so upset about the littlest thing that he said would actually be counterintuitive in the sense that it would push him further into silence. Because you have to understand, at the end of the day, he is still an employee of JYP Entertainment. And if he actually didn't mean what he said, it really puts him in an awkward situation with his company. If he actually did mean what everyone thinks he means, it's even worse. We see this so often. K-pop stans accusing the company of mistreating their idols. And then we see hashtags trending, and I always wonder, how does that affect the idol's relationship with their higher-ups, with their company? Because there's always the potential that the idol would get in trouble for something like this. So imagine all these hashtags against JYP for a little offhanded comment that Bangchan said at a fan sign. I could imagine that could potentially make things harder for him, right? From a fan's perspective, it's like, hell yeah, speak up, tell your truth. But from a company's perspective, it's likely that they would think that they can't trust him anymore, on top of the previous incident that might have caused some distrust to begin with. So now, instead of only taking away Chan's room, maybe they'll be like, hey, actually, just don't say anything ever again because you're just consistently causing trouble for us. Because every little thing that he says gets blown out of proportion like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we strive for idols to be open and honest with us, but in fighting for that, we actually probably are making it more difficult for them to be open and honest with us. I could totally picture how these hashtags would create problems between the idol and their company, who might see the backlash as a reason to shut him up even more. So that's that with the Bangchan situation. Of course, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is really the end of Chan's room, or do you think it's perhaps a misunderstanding again? And what do you make of the hashtags being trend? Do you really think it has the potential to change things, or do you think it will only make the situation worse? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's move on to 50/50, whose court results are in. It's a little anticlimactic, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a lot of us kind of expected this. So of course, the court rejects 50/50's request for a provisional injunction to suspend their exclusive contract with Attract. Now, this doesn't mean that it's completely over as of yet, because there is the potential to appeal this decision. On August 28th, the Seoul Central District Court dismissed 50/50's request for an injunction to suspend their exclusive contract with Attract. A preliminary injunction is usually a remedy used to obtain a temporary order. However, when a request is rejected, it means that no urgent reason to accommodate the applicant's request has been found. In response, their law firm submitted an application for the resumption of interrogation, expressing hope for a formal trial. However, the court dismissed this decision. So according to the CEO of Attract, there is a lot of evidence tampering, and this is in regard to the court's decision. In the future, we plan to focus on criminal complaints against the Giver CEO, An Sung-il, and director Pics. So from what I understand, there could potentially be an appeal. I mean, you never know how long these things can go on for, but it's really interesting because ever since Dispatch fact-checked a lot of the claims that were made on behalf of 50/50 in regards to the whole lawsuit, it seems that even international fans have turned their backs on them. We can even see within the comments of this article. I think the girls are finished in this industry and they deserve it. They should sue themselves as they were the ones who tarnished their own reputation. So previously, international fans were totally on 50/50's side, whereas K-Netizens were really not having it from the beginning. But now it really does seem that everyone is kind of turning against them. So with that, let's take a look at what Korean netizens are saying in reaction to the 50/50's court dismissal. But will 50/50 get paid for their music sales? I'm sure it would be a large amount. 50, you guys shouldn't go around calling yourselves singers. Just don't come out. You guys are horrible. Even if they try to be the second Hong Seung-yeon, another singer An Sung-il allegedly poached, you should be able to predict your future. Anyways, congratulations. I mean, I heard there were so many endorsement deals. They kicked themselves in the foot. Seriously, this is what you do with an opportunity of a lifetime. So, Unanswered Questions released that kind of episode before the trial verdict and the members' letters LOL. So that's where we are with 50/50 as of now. Again, there is a possibility to appeal this decision, so it's technically not finalized. But again, seeing international fans turn their back on 50/50, it just really doesn't look good in any way, shape, or form for them. Should we take a second to talk about SM's new boy group, Riize? They've been in the news a lot recently, of course, because they're SM's new boy group. Everyone's pretty excited about that. But also because Seunghan and Chotaro are joining the group, they're literally in the group. What do you mean? Who used to be in NCT, remember? Fans are, of course, super happy about that because the members' futures were kind of in the air up until that point. But also we have everyone swooning over their member Wonbin. Should we just take a minute? I mean, I'm sorry, this man has a gorgeous face, I can't lie. Now that is a face. I have to say, I kind of cut myself off in the last video when we were talking about Wonbin, but their hairstyles that are kind of like back to basics, kind of first gen inspired, I love it. Some people say it's outdated, I love it. I think it's so cool. He literally looks like Seonghwa's son. I cannot get it out of my head. But yeah, everybody's swooning over this man. There's a lot of buzz surrounding Riize right now, as they're set to debut on September 4th. Mark your calendars, guys. But of course, ahead of any great debut, you can expect some scandals to come the group's way. And unfortunately, Seunghan is in the news because of his past couple photos seemingly being released right now. Now, the situation's a little tricky because we have some articles that are like his couple photos have been released and fans are defending him because love is not a crime. But then there are also some articles that are alleging that the girl in the photo is quite young. He's quite young too, but that's not the point. So the caption of this tweet says, Riize Hong Seunghan took his girlfriend to a hotel. So this adds a little bit of a different context, a different backlash of sorts, because of course international fans in general, seeing these photos, they're like, oh my god, it's so cute, love, like what did you expect for him not to date ever, like he's 20. But the comments from both international stans and K-Netizens on this post, however, are a little bit different. So here are some of them. Seeing the angles, you can tell that those were selfies taken by himself. So why would he take pictures like this knowing he's gonna become an idol? Seungchan is good. You need to do it once. What? Why is the past of Riize kids so splendid? Riize fans were dragging every male idol saying how Riize are different, so that's why they like them. Damn, they sure are different. This is so annoying. Seungsho must become successful. Take Sohee by the hand and leave the group. So then we have another post that is pointing out the double standards, that if this happened to a female idol, it would be over for her. Seriously, I'm not even a fan of female idols, and I honestly don't even fangirl on any girl group. But kids like Karina were getting backlash here without any proper evidence, and people were even making phone calls to SM to cancel her debut and make a fuss about boycotting her. while Riize Seunghan and this guy, I honestly don't even know his name, scandal broke out, but there's not one person who is trying to cancel their debut as much as they did with aespa. If IVE, aespa, NewJeans, LE SSERAFIM, NMIXX had a scandal like this, do you really think that pan girls would stay still? With more comments saying if, Jang Won-young, Karina, Minji did this, taking their young boyfriends to a hotel and uploaded a picture of them kissing, the number 1, number 10 featured talks will be all about them and people trying to cancel them. So there's definitely different context depending on which articles you're reading. For example, Koreabu. International fans defend Riize Seunghan after alleged couple photos suddenly surface online. So of course, idols are still human. A lot of international fans tend to support dating. But then you also have these other accusations that are unverified as of now. So that's what we know as of now. SM hasn't released any statements. But as usual, let me know what you think. Sticking to the dating news, however, we have Lino from Stray Kids and NMIXX's Sullyoon dating accusations. I like to call them dating accusations because sometimes it's so ridiculous. And you guys know I love ridiculous dating rumors. When people dig to try to find if an idol posted a similar couple item or like they posted about the same thing, I think the dedication is quite charming and entertaining for me. So where does this dating accusation come from? Well, there's a video going around of them sitting side by side, seemingly watching a Stacey performance. There's literally sparkles in her eyes, even though we can't see them. But love is something you feel. Obviously, I'm kidding. No one's really buying that they're dating. And actually, I watched the whole 5-minute video and I swear I don't think he even looked at her once. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks like they might be looking at each other. I don't even think she looked at him once. His body language is like facing away from her. And I think his chair is more scooted up compared to hers. So she can look to the side and see Stacey and not him. I sound like an obsessed K-pop fan. Like, no, like I'm totally okay with him dating. Like if he wants to date her or whatever. But like, I just don't think it's plausible. Okay. Like all the evidence is pointing otherwise. But like, it's not that I'm mad that he would be dating. Like he could totally date her if he wanted to. But I just don't think he is. I don't even stand Stray Kids. No, but I definitely sensed the tension in this video because you can see him like make contact with the person filming him as well, which I think adds to this awkward nature of it. And I think idols know inherently that they're being watched at events like this. And I think they try to be extra careful because can you imagine if they actually like looked at each other and like talked to each other? Can you imagine if they actually treated each other like human beings, the amount of actual dating rumors there would be? Looking someone in their eyes, though not a crime, is enough for a dating rumor, clearly. But I really don't listen, all that to say, I just sometimes feel like you feel the tension between idols. Not like any type of specific tension, just tension of like, oh my God, I don't want to cause a scandal and like have this blow up in a way that I don't need it to blow up. Idols seem scared as hell and reluctant as hell to look anyone in the eyes even. I actually have a memory of, I think it was Honey who was going to do a dance challenge with Suga and he was giving everyone, including staff, present. So he gives Honey the gift and she's so thankful, and he felt the need to like clarify right away, like, it's not just for you, I gave everyone gifts, and some people in the comments are like, oh wow, that's so rude, did he really need to say that? And other people being like, he absolutely had to say that. He absolutely needed to clarify that because otherwise people might have taken that and ran with it. And can you imagine? That would have been horrible. No, but seriously, when did K-pop become like this? I feel like we also just don't see a lot of collabs anymore. Like I can think of like a couple of co-ed collabs, but nothing compares to like G-Dragon and Dada's Hello. I mean, I can't think of any, but can you think of any female male idol collabs recently? I feel like Giselle did a collab with some SM art. I can't remember. Moving on to Jongho from AT. So we had previously talked about how he had to be flown back to Korea because he had some extreme leg pain. So this was during KCON LA, and it seems that he's missing out on the last leg of their tour. But we have gotten an update from KQ Entertainment. So of course, hello, this is KQ Entertainment. Please read the following notice regarding AT's member Jongho's health condition and status for future schedules. While Jongho was already undergoing conservative treatment and recovery for a meniscus rupture, it was determined that detailed examination and additional measures were necessary. As a result, Jongho immediately stopped his overseas schedules and returned to Korea to receive treatment at a specialized medical institution. After a thorough examination, Jongho was recommended to undergo surgery and receive intensive management for the existing injured area. As a result, ATEEZ will continue with 7 members for the upcoming schedules, while Jongho undergoes rehabilitation after the surgery. We ask for your understanding regarding the decision to prioritize Jongho's prompt recovery, and we will update you once he is ready to return to the group's schedule. Thank you. So of course it seems he's going on hiatus. I feel like that was definitely a given. I don't think anyone was expecting him to come back anytime soon. And a lot of you guys shared your experiences with similar injuries, or even when S-Coops was announced that he had a torn ACL, a lot of you guys also shared experiences and concern, because of course these things always have the potential to be career-ending injuries, right? I'm not gonna lie, I have faith because I really like artistic gymnastics, and I don't want to sound insensitive because of course you can't compare injuries, but I've seen a ton of gymnasts like tear their ACLs and then come back for the Olympics. And I know injuries are never comparable, but it gives me hope, okay? Aliyah Mustafina in 2011 tore her ACL. Guess who was at the 2012 London Olympics? Her! Or even most recently, I don't know if you saw this viral Barbie girl routine going viral. I already said viral, but Rebecca Ripley tore her ACL twice and she's out here with a leg brace. There's hope. There's hope. I have hope. We have hope, okay? Don't lose it. We did have a conversation about this in the last video where we talked about Jongho's injury. You know, what would happen to an idol if they could never dance again? And a lot of you brought up Hichul from Super Junior that, you know, he just doesn't really dance with the group all that much. But it seems there were a couple K-pop idols who were kicked out of their groups due to injuries that prevented them from dancing, which I think is absolutely horrible. But I assure you, if this were to happen to ATEEZ and or 17, we wouldn't let it slide. I would personally organize a boycott, and you guys have to be on board. You guys can't be like, oh, but we have to buy no, you're not buying any albums. Do you understand me? We said we would do good things with K-pop. I have a plan. Let's hope we don't have to put this plan into action, but KQ, watch your back and or pletis. But let me know, would you join my boycott? For real, would you actually? Let me know. Are you tired of talking about Joshua yet? Are you tired of hearing me talk about Joshua yet? Because everything he does is news now. Ever since his dating scandal, he posts on Weverse and everybody is talking about it. So he posted his first picture on Weverse since his dating scandal. But I wanted to talk about it because the comments, like the responses to this, are absolutely unhinged, okay? So here's the photo of our lovely Joshua. He basically just wrote, "Carrots, good job today." But the response, the first one, I wonder if he also shares that outfit with his girlfriend. Like, that's unhinged to me, because that's what you say about like an ex-boyfriend. Like, I wonder if he does the same things with her that he did with me. I'm more curious about when his girlfriend will update her Instagram. What do you want him to do if you get upset both when he updates and when he stays silent? Shaking my head. I honestly don't care if he dates or not. I missed him. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, why are you acting like you bring your boyfriend to work? Shaking my head. It was unprofessional whatsoever. So it seems this is in regards to him bringing his girlfriend to his concert. What celebrity doesn't bring friends and family to their concerts? Taylor Swift. I'm always seeing Taylor Swift shorts, TikToks on my For You page. Girlie constantly has friends and families at her concerts. I don't get it. The most shocking thing was that he invited his girlfriend and her friends to the best seats at the fan concert, and his waving at them was recorded at an online concert. I still don't understand how he would do such a thing and pretend nothing happened. He rarely posts on Weverse, lol, and out of all times he updated now makes me wonder. Joshua, I'm rooting for you. Take care of yourself. Luckily, we do have some support here, as I'm sure a lot of you guys watching also support him. But just some of the comments, like as if they're his ex-girlfriends or something. Anyways, let's move on to my little segment called Kpop Shenanigans. It's just basically little fun things that have happened in K-pop recently. NCT U released their music video for Baggy Jeans. People are finding it really funny that not only are 17 models for Gardasil, which is like a vaccination against HPV, but also it seems there's a potential you could get photo cards after getting injected. You know how I said it would be so amazing for K-pop stars to be in politics? Imagine the changes we could make in the world if we offered photo cards for people doing certain things. Can you imagine? SB19, who is a Filipino boy group who were trained under a K-pop system, their new song Gento is going viral, and a lot of K-pop idols are doing the dance challenge. We can see Gravity, The Boys, and so on. And from seeing all of these challenges and then seeing sound from ATEEZ's version of it, I can see that we took some liberties with the crotch grabbing. But I digress. Jihyo won #1 on Music Bank for Killing Me Good, and ITZY's Ryujin's reaction to this is gaining traction because she just seems so happy and emotional for her. And as for our song of the day, I'm recommending Girls' Day Twinkle Twinkle. So if you're in the mood for a fun, cute second-gen song, I definitely recommend it. If you would like to submit something into Kpop Shenanigans, you can send it to me or tag me on Instagram and or TikTok and or Twitter. Actually, I only go on there to ask YouTube why they hate me, so I wouldn't bother. Lastly, we need to talk about the state of the world right now because there's literally an iPhone epidemic. There was this recent post taking a picture with an iPhone. Because of celebrities, Samsung is troubled. So we have Yujin taking a picture of herself with an iPhone. Looking at celebrity selfies, I have trouble begging for an iPhone, parenthesis parents. iPhone selfies of the hottest celebrities these days also affect sales. Communication official. Samsung Electronics is suffering from the love of iPhones from famous celebrities who have a great influence on the younger generation, such as popular girl groups. In a situation where the younger generation is already leaning towards iPhones, famous celebrities are posting selfies taken with iPhones through SNS every day. The popularity of foldable phones such as the Galaxy Z Flip 5, which was released to break the image of the Galaxy equals uncle grandpa phone, can also be halved, raising Samsung's concern. So are we blaming Yujin for this? Her cute hairstyle caused Samsung to go bankrupt, essentially. It's no surprise that Samsung pays all of these idols to promote their phones, and then these idols end up not even knowing how it works. We've seen it most famously with Blackpink, of course. They were sponsored for Samsung for quite a while, and then when their contract ended, it was like iPhones galore. Samsung who? I mean, that's also a very generous statement considering the fact that they were caught with their iPhones during that period as well. But I remember they received a lot of heat for this. Some of the comments in response are, then why don't they use the hottest celebrities as models too? It just reads like some tearful article written by some trash journalists who vowed loyalty to Samsung. Here they go again, bull crapping about female celebrities. There's no way celebrities don't use iPhone mainly because of security reasons. Even if it's not perfect when you look at the case of Blackpink, they just have better security. Even the government and policemen are all switching to iPhones. I'm not saying that Galaxy have protection issues, but this is something inherent to Android. I mean, to be fair, you really shouldn't, and I know it is an expectation, but you really shouldn't expect people who promote things to be fans of that thing. Does that make sense? Like if you see someone doing a commercial on your TV, you don't then expect them to be super loyal to that brand for the rest of their lives. But because, you know, influencers and idols kind of feel more like our friends at times, we have this expectation that they wouldn't lie to us. That is an absolute lie in and of itself. But there is an iPhone epidemic. I mean, we see New Jeans, their music video for ETA was literally sponsored by iPhone and filmed on an iPhone. But Samsung is still trying, guys. They're still trying. I actually wanted to talk about this because I have a folder on TikTok of instances where idols are just unhinged when it comes to Samsung. It's just 4 little videos, but if you ever come across a video of an idol like not knowing how a Samsung phone works or like messing up in this way, please tag me in it. It's so funny to me. V Live, Jenny struggling to hide the iPhone's reflection and everything that they're showing. We can clearly see it's an iPhone. And then you have Rosie in the background who just has her iPhone out. Is that? Yes. Then, oh my God, Blackpink being clueless on how to use Samsungs. It's just so funny to me. But tell me why ATs are in here. Look, so Wooyoung was asked, what's your favorite emoji to use? And he said in iPhone, but the show is sponsored by Samsung.
In iPhone. I love Galaxy. Yeah, we love Galaxy. I love too.
Oh, he's actually not lying. That is so cute. So let me know in the comments below if you are team iPhone or team Samsung or team iPhone, team Android. I mean, there's different Android, right? That is basically it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye! They don't have proper manners. What the fuck was that?